Imagine a kingdom so mysterious it's often mistaken for a European country. A place where witches don't ride broomsticks, they fly drones. Where kings choose their brides in a festival of thousands and lions roam just a stone's throw away. Welcome to Eswatini, Africa's best-kept secret and the smallest country in the Southern Hemisphere. From its lush highlands to its wild savannas, Eswatini is a land of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern quirks. Did you know it's illegal for witches to fly above 150 feet, or that men here are paid to marry multiple wives? And wait until you hear about the world's largest wife selection event. Yes, it's as jaw-dropping as it sounds. But that's just the beginning. Join us as we uncover the hidden wonders of Eswatini, a kingdom where every corner holds a story, every festival is a spectacle, and every moment feels like stepping into a living, breathing fairy tale. Ready to explore? Let's dive in. Number 1, don't confuse it with Switzerland. Have you ever heard of Eswatini? It's the smallest country in the Southern Hemisphere and one of the most unique nations in the world. Nestled between South Africa and Mozambique, Eswatini is like a forgotten gem. Yet it holds wonders you won't find anywhere else on Earth. With an area of just about 17,364 square kilometers, roughly the size of New Jersey in the US, don't let its size fool you. Within this small space lies a treasure trove of natural beauty and unique culture. Eswatini's geographical location makes it special. From the lush green highlands of the High Veld, where you can enjoy a cool climate year-round, to the pleasant Middle Veld, ideal for agriculture, and the Low Veld region with its tropical climate and numerous wildlife reserves, Eswatini feels like a National Geographic documentary come to life. The climate here changes like clockwork, with the rainy season lasting from October to March and the dry season from April to September, the perfect time to explore this mysterious country. The country's name is also an interesting point. It officially changed its name from Swaziland to Eswatini to assert its distinct identity and avoid confusion with Switzerland. Eswatini means land of the Swazi, a proud declaration of heritage and cultural identity. Eswatini has a population of about 1.2 million people, fewer than some small cities in the US. But its cultural diversity is remarkably rich. Over 90% of the population are Swazi, speaking Siswati, a Bantu language with distinctive click sounds that you won't find in any other language in the world. Interestingly, English is also widely spoken, making it easy for tourists to communicate. Number 2. Flying witches above 150 feet is illegal. When you think of witches, you might picture spooky fairy tales or magical Hollywood movies, but in Eswatini, witches take on a whole new meaning. Here, witches refer to modern airplanes and drones. Yes, you heard that right. Eswatini has an official law stating that witches, drones, and small aircraft are not allowed to fly higher than 150 feet, which is about 46 meters. While this law may seem humorous, it's a serious regulation aimed at managing airspace safety, particularly for unmanned aerial vehicles or drones. Interestingly, while countries like the US or the UK often allow drones to fly up to 400 feet to avoid conflicts with commercial airspace, Eswatini has set a much stricter limit. Violating this law can result in a penalty of up to 10,000 Mlilwane, which is around $550, a hefty fine that makes anyone think twice before flying high. However, here's the surprising part. Eswatini still sees about 50 commercial flights landing each week, most of which fly at altitudes of around 10,000 meters, or about 33,000 feet, over 200 times higher than the limit set for witches. So do these flights face penalties? The answer is no. This quirky regulation only applies to small aircraft or drones, while international commercial flights adhering to global aviation safety standards can fly freely over Eswatini without worrying about magical fines. And number 3, the world's largest wife selection event. Every year at the end of August, as summer in Africa begins to wind down, one of the most unique festivals on the planet takes place in Eswatini. the Umhlanga Festival. Dubbed the largest wife selection event in the world, this festival attracts over 100,000 young girls from across the country, all converging in the cultural capital, Lobamba, hoping to change their lives in just a few days. Visitors to Eswatini often observe that this country retains the soul of Africa in its most traditional sense. Images of tribes, festivals, vibrant clothing, wild dances, and religious rituals remain intact, untouched by modernization. Swazi men typically wear imahia, which are wraps around their bodies combined with feathered jewelry symbolizing bravery and status. Meanwhile, the young girls participating in the festival continuously innovate to make their outfits stand out, as catching the king's attention could change their lives forever. But it's not just the daughters of former presidents you might encounter. You could even meet some extraordinary characters. Imagine if you were lucky enough to marry a beautiful and successful girl or secure a high position here. Many others share the same mindset, from local men to international tourists. This isn't just the king's wife selection, it could be any man's opportunity. Many girls come not to seek the king's attention, but to participate or find a foreign partner. Simply put, if they wanted Swazi men, they wouldn't need to travel so far. Number 4. 2 separate capitals. Have you ever imagined a small country with 2 distinct capitals, each with its own unique story? Eswatini is one of the rare countries in the world that boasts 2 unique centers of power, Mbabane and Lobamba. Starting your journey in Mbabane, the administrative and commercial capital of Eswatini, you'll be amazed by the modern atmosphere of this vibrant city. At an elevation of 1,200 meters, about 3,900 feet above sea level, Mbabane offers a cool, pleasant climate year-round, a stark contrast to the typical heat of many other African nations. Known as the financial heart of Eswatini, Mbabane is a hub of bustling shopping centers, modern cafes and colorful streets. You'll easily find traditional craft shops selling exquisite pottery and hand-woven paintings rich in African culture. Just a short drive of under an hour away from the hustle and bustle of Mbabane, you'll arrive in Lobamba, the cultural and legislative capital of Eswatini. In stark contrast to the modernity of Mbabane, Lobamba is where the essence of Swazi culture is preserved. It's not only home to Eswatini's parliament and the royal palace, but also the heart of the country's most vibrant traditional festivals. Every year, thousands of people from around the world flock here to witness the Umlanga Festival. Number 5. Swazi men are paid to propose to multiple women at once. In most countries around the world, marrying a wife means you'll have to spend more, but in Eswatini, the opposite is true. Marrying multiple wives can actually help men receive houses and money from the king. Yes, you heard that correctly. Rumors once spread that King Mswati III had ordered all men in the country to marry at least 2 wives, or risk going to jail. According to these rumors, the government would cover the entire cost of marrying a wife, provide housing, and offer financial support to those who followed the king's example. Although the government later denied this information, the truth is that men in Eswatini who want to marry multiple wives must pay a hefty price. Traditionally, men demonstrate their wealth not in cash or gold, but through livestock. In Swazi culture, livestock is a measure of wealth and is known as lobola or bride price. A typical marriage usually requires 10 to 15 head of cattle as a bride price, but if the bride is the daughter of a chief, the number can double or even triple. Number 6. Women without hair, and they are not allowed to wear skirts. When you step foot in Eswatini, one thing will immediately stand out about the women here. If you encounter girls with long, shiny hair or intricately styled hairstyles, they are definitely unmarried, young, free, and full of life. But the surprise comes when you see a woman with a completely shaved head. That's not a bold fashion trend or a personal statement. In Eswatini, it symbolizes a widow, someone who has lost their partner. What's even more intriguing is that while modern society values personal freedom and self-expression through fashion, Women in Eswatini must adhere to strict dress codes. Short skirts, tight pants, and off-the-shoulder outfits are deemed inappropriate, especially in rural areas or at traditional events. Instead, they wear emahia, long wrap skirts that reach the ankles, reflecting modesty and respect for traditional values. However, the most interesting part is that at cultural festivals like the Umhlanga Reed Dance, you'll witness an intriguing paradox. Thousands of young girls dressed in traditional outfits with bare upper bodies dancing to lively drum beats. Here, beauty is not tied to sensuality, but to purity, strength, and the pride of Swazi women. Number 7. The country with the lowest life expectancy in the world. When we think of countries with the highest life expectancy, like Japan, Switzerland, or Norway, we often picture healthy communities where people live an average of over 80 years, enjoying fresh air, balanced diets, and modern healthcare systems. However, thousands of miles south, at the heart of Africa, Eswatini tells a completely different story. According to the latest data from the World Health Organization, the average life expectancy here is only around 58 to 60 years, significantly lower than the global average of 72 to 73 years. The main factor behind this statistic is the presence of a serious health challenge affecting approximately 27% of the adult population. This means that for every 4 adults in Eswatini, at least 1 is managing this condition. Beyond its impact on personal well-being, this health issue also affects families and the workforce, particularly among individuals aged 25 to 49, as it can lead to early career disruptions. Additionally, a limited healthcare system with poor infrastructure and a shortage of personnel has made treating other illnesses challenging. In rural areas, many people must walk for miles just to reach the nearest healthcare facility, something unimaginable for people in the US or Europe, where modern healthcare services are always just a few minutes away. Moreover, malnutrition and lack of clean water are 2 other serious issues. Prolonged drought and over-reliance on subsistence farming have made food security increasingly precarious. Not stopping there, the high unemployment rate, around 25 to 30%, is also a deep-rooted cause of low life expectancy. Prolonged unemployment not only increases poverty but also limits access to education and healthcare. Number 8. The Sibebe Clinic, launched on Valentine's Day. The Sibebe Clinic, meaning we are loved in Siswati, is located in Matsafa Manzini, the industrial hub of Eswatini. This special clinic offers all medical services completely free, becoming a reliable destination for those in need of medical support but facing financial or social barriers. Sibebe is run by a team of local staff and 3 international experts, creating a safe and friendly environment where patients can openly share their health issues. Most patients at the clinic are those facing sensitive problems, struggling with mental health, or experiencing unhappiness in life. Therefore, confidentiality and privacy are prioritized, with all services provided in an absolutely safe space. While many public hospitals in Eswatini face shortages of medical equipment, overcrowded beds, and unstable electricity systems, Sibebe is equipped with modern medical facilities that meet international standards. The clinic also pioneers an online appointment system, helping reduce waiting times and enhance service quality. This clinic is part of efforts to make life better for the people of Eswatini, or at least improve their spirits. Number 9. The most beloved places in Eswatini. If you're looking for a unique journey where nature, culture, and history blend perfectly, then Eswatini is the mysterious gem you can't miss. Start your journey at Hlane Royal National Park, known as the Kingdom of Wild Kings. This is the largest animal reserve in Eswatini, where you can encounter Africa's famous Big 5 lions, elephants, rhinos, leopards, and buffalo. Imagine sitting in an off-road jeep just a few meters away from a herd of wild elephants, an experience that even the most famous reserves in Kenya or South Africa can hardly match. If you're a nature lover, don't miss Malolotja Nature Reserve, one of the most pristine areas in Africa. With over 200 kilometers of hiking trails, majestic waterfalls like the Tihongonyani Falls, and rich flora and fauna, this place is a paradise for adventure enthusiasts. Another must-visit destination is Mantenga Cultural Village, where you can relive the old days of the Swazi people through traditional Sibaka dance performances, or enjoy local dishes in a rustic, authentic setting. It's not just a living museum, but also an opportunity for visitors to gain deeper insights into the traditions and customs of the Eswatini people. And if you love vibrant culture and modernity, visit Manzini Market, the heart of Eswatini. Here you can shop for unique handmade products like pottery, jewelry, or traditional fabrics. This market is likened to the Times Square of Eswatini, but with a much slower and warmer pace of life. Number 10. The largest and most exciting festivals in Eswatini. The Bushfire Festival, known as the largest music and arts festival in Africa, is an international event lasting 3 days, usually held at the end of May in the Malkerns Valley. This event attracts over 20,000 visitors from around the world to immerse themselves in a vibrant musical atmosphere, where international and local artists perform lively music ranging from Afrobeat to jazz and electronic. Notably, the festival is not just about music, but also a creative art space, featuring craft exhibitions, sculptures, paintings, and unique food stalls. Visitors can participate in art classes, experience traditional fire dance performances, or simply relax in the pristine atmosphere of Eswatini's nature. Interestingly, all profits from this festival are used for community development and education programs, making every ticket purchase a meaningful act. In contrast to the modern and lively bushfire, the Nkwala Festival is an event steeped in spirituality and the ancient traditions of the Swazi people. Taking place at the end of December or early January, this festival is considered the most sacred ritual in Eswatini, honoring the power of the king and marking the beginning of a new farming season. The highlight of the festival is the eating of the first fruits ceremony. Only when the king tastes the first fruits of the season are the people allowed to harvest, a symbolic act of the bond between the king and the nation. The festival atmosphere is enlivened by traditional warrior dances, the sound of drums echoing through the valley, and images of Swazi warriors clad in animal skins, wielding sharp spears, transporting visitors back to a glorious historical period. Number 11. A culinary paradise. If you're a food enthusiast craving unique flavors, then Eswatini will surely surprise and delight you from the very first bite. The cuisine here is a perfect blend of the long-standing traditions of the Swazi people and subtle influences from neighboring cultures like South Africa and Mozambique. One of the most distinctive dishes you can't miss is sishwala, a thick corn porridge cooked with beans or pumpkin, often enjoyed for breakfast with traditional yogurt called emasi. This creamy, mild yet nutritious flavor will make you appreciate the rustic and refined essence of local cuisine. If you want to try something more adventurous, try sidvudvu, a dish made from the head of a cow or goat, slow cooked until the meat becomes tender and infused with natural spices. This isn't just a meal, it's also an important part of traditional ceremonies where people gather and share memorable moments together. We can't forget about braai, the traditional Swazi barbecue. Imagine enjoying a piece of lamb or chicken grilled over hot coals, infused with the aroma of local spices like peri-peri or wild garlic. This flavor will take you on an unforgettable culinary journey. For those with a sweet tooth, marula fruit jelly is a unique dessert made from the marula fruit, a wild fruit native to Africa. The slight tartness combined with a gentle sweetness will leave a lasting impression. Number 12. Cost of living in Eswatini. If you've ever dreamed of living in Africa without worrying too much about finances, then Eswatini is the perfect destination for you. The cost of living in this small country is considered one of the lowest in the world, especially when compared to living standards in the EU. Housing costs in Eswatini are incredibly affordable. A one-bedroom apartment in the capital city, Umlanga, or the second-largest city, Mantenga, ranges from $200 to $400 per month. If you're willing to live in the suburbs or in peaceful rural areas, this price can drop to around $100 to $150. Imagine, for the cost of just one night in a hotel in New York, you could rent a separate apartment for an entire month in Eswatini. Food and daily necessities are also very cheap. A decent meal at a local restaurant costs around $5 to $10, while a fine dining experience at the most upscale restaurant will only set you back about $20 to $30, much cheaper than a similar meal in the US. If you enjoy cooking at home, grocery shopping at traditional markets will be even more economical, with fresh fruits, vegetables, meat and fish costing as little as $1 to $3 per kilogram. Transportation in Eswatini is also quite reasonable. Gasoline prices are around $1.20 per litre, which is equivalent to about $4.50 per gallon, lower than the average in the United States. Public transport, such as minibuses or taxis, usually costs only 50 cents to $1 for each trip within the city. Healthcare and education costs here are also very competitive. Premium private healthcare services are just a fraction of the cost in the United States, with a basic consultation starting from $20 to $50. If you plan to live, long-term international health insurance is also reasonably priced, at just about $50 to $100 a month, a figure that is less than half the cost of living in major cities like New York or Los Angeles. With this cost, do you think Eswatini is a place you could travel to or consider settling down? Thank you for your feedback. In addition to the attractive costs, there are also very appealing visa policies for tourists. If you are interested in this country, please comment with the number 7, and we will share more in the comments. We've reached the end of our travel documentary about Eswatini. Thank you for following along to the end of this journey. If you found today's film useful, please like and let us know in the comments. Conversely, if you have any dissatisfaction, please comment so we can improve. See you next time on our journey to explore the